Hey everyone, welcome to my page. This is Sally Garcia, or Coach Sally G, and I have a really special guest, super duper special guest, Dr. Kayla. She is an OBGYN. Let me get her credentials up here so I don't mistake myself here. She is going to be joining us in just a second, as soon as she hops on. Let's see. So she's an OBGYN, and I'm going to be asking her some tough questions. Okay, here she is. Let me see if I can get her on. Yeah, let's go on. All right, Dr. Kayla is coming on. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Yay. I love it when technology works.
It worked like that. It was awesome.
Yes. Cool. And you can hear me okay?
I can hear you. Yep.
Awesome. All right. Oh
Very,
my
very
goodness.
Cool. So I want to share this to my other page.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now.
Done.
I can do it from my computer, right?
Yeah. Share. Everybody wants to know this information, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Who doesn't want to start May off like the best May ever, right?
May is my favorite month of the year.
Yeah.
A lot of cool things happen. Okay, I don't know why I can't share it from my page from my computer. That's really weird. So I'm wondering if I can share it from, I don't think I can. Oh, well.
Do you see the little share button in the bottom?
Which one?
The share button, like in the bottom corner?
Nope.
That's okay. You know what? I'll show you how to share it afterwards.
Got it.
All right.
Awesome. So let's get started.
Perfect.
Do you want me to ask you?
Yeah, I mean,
What's
you
in
know,
my head?
go for it. I'm ready.
Awesome.
I'm geared up and I'm ready, I hope. Challenge is on.
Okay, cool. So,
oh my goodness, I have friends from Italy on. That's awesome.
Italy. Hello.
Oh my
Welcome to
goodness.
California. I'm in California. Where are you?
I'm in Michigan.
Michigan. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I have a couple questions because a lot of my friends have been very curious as to what ketosis is and why keto, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, can you answer that one question for me right now? And then I have a couple of.
Sure, let's go with that. What is keto? I'm sure it could be a brand new word for some people. Other people have heard, keto diet, all that stuff. So let's break down what keto is. Your body has two sources for to fuel it. Okay, so either glucose, which is sugars, or fats, which is those are ketones. Okay. So what happens is in the standard American diet, I think the irony there is the acronym is the SAD diet, the standard American diet, right?
Yeah.
Is that we eat several times a day, at least 3 times a day. Some people are all the way up to 6 times a day. I used to be that person. And with that, you too?
Oh
okay.
My gosh,
so,
yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So with
that's all
eating
I know how to do, doctor.
Right.
That's all I know.
That's what you're.
Because I'm a fitness professional and I've been told that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's worked for me. But I eat all day long, and I'm like, oh my gosh! As soon as I don't eat, I get hangry so fast.
Yes. Oh my gosh! I have to say hi. So my driver from Italy is on Facebook with me right now. So if anyone is going to Italy, I will hook you up with the best driver because you don't want to drive in Italy. You don't. It is hard. And okay, so back to this. So the standard American diet, you eat several times a day, and think of that food pyramid: carbs, and then all the way at the top is little, oils, fats. Okay, so with that diet, you are constantly feeding yourself glucose. You're constantly sugar. So remember, pasta is sugar. Okay. Your fruits and vegetables are sugar. Those are glucose sources, okay? So your body gets energy from that, and all day long it has this peak of energy, and then you crash because glucose doesn't give you long-term energy. And each time you eat, your insulin level goes up. Your insulin spikes and goes down. Insulin spikes and goes down, spikes and goes down. Okay,
Wow.
so what keto is the time when instead of your body relying on glucose, it relies on fat for energy. And what's so cool, instead of that, you know, are you like me and used to have that like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you died because your glucose supply was like down and you're like, oh, it's because I have to eat. No, it's not because of that. So anyway, keto is fat, you know, it's all about fat energy. So fat energy, literally, I'm going to tell you how I think of it. It's like you're on cloud 9 because it's steady energy. It's controlled, steady energy. You don't have highs and lows like you do with glucose. So we have been doing this for, you know, forever back in the human history, right? So think of hunters and gatherers, okay?
Okay.
So in order for a hunter and gatherer who can't run out to McDonald's, who can't run out to the corner store to get food, they actually had to physically go out and hunt. You know, and typically back then it was women gathered, so that takes energy to do, and men are hunting, that takes, you know, so your body already has adapted, our bodies today adapted to what our ancestors did, which is not eating at all and having crazy energy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The hunters and gatherers didn't eat little amounts all day long. They literally had no food. They would go hunt and gather, and then they would eat. And they were not like passed out, right, on the ground because they weren't eating. Like, people.
So
eating,
true.
You know, if you restrain yourself in intermittent fast, it doesn't mean you're going to like pass out. That, oh my gosh, that's a pet peeve of mine. So in order to get into, yeah, right.
That's me.
In order to get into, that's you. That was you.
Yeah.
Like you were like, oh my God, I gotta eat, or I'm gonna have low blood sugar.
What's that?
Okay, I'm here to tell you, it's not. You won't have low blood sugar by doing the keto diet. That is not at all what happens, okay? So our body has this natural mechanism already adapted so that we can go hunt, gather, get our food, you know, go about our day. For us, you know, these days, like our hunting, our gathering is work, right? We need to focus on what we do and not be eating all the time. So during a period where you're not eating and you get through all of your glucose stores. So glucose is stored as glycogen, and it often takes around 24 hours to get through those glycogen stores. So if you are always going and eating and you never have a 24-hour period that you don't eat, you do not get into ketosis. Like you can't.
So which means I'm not burning my fat.
You're not burning your fat. You're using instant energy of glucose, and then it's storing as glycogen, and then that stores as fat, okay?
Got it.
So a very big misnomer is fat does not make you fat, okay? Increased food in your body, you know, whether they be carbs, fats, proteins, that is what, when you have too much of that and you're eating it all day long, and your body's like, ooh, I got enough, I got to store, because your body is programmed to know it has to store for times of fasting. Here's the thing that we have forgotten to do as we've evolved in society and become, you know, like, oh my gosh, think of our technology and everything. What we forgot to do was we forgot to continuously put in fasting periods in our life.
Yep.
Okay. So that is how you do it endogenously, meaning how you get your body into fat burning mode is you have to burn off all of your glycogen stores, and then you're finally at fat burning, that fat burning clarity and, you know, fat loss. Who doesn't want that? So that's endogenously. So ketogenesis is that. Making ketones new. Genesis, like think of the Bible, Genesis, right? Is from new. So you're making ketones from new. Your liver does that. That's your body doing it internally, okay?
Okay.
So if you go into ketosis, you can actually now biohack your body and do it. You don't have to starve yourself. You don't have to change your diet today. You can get into ketogenesis by taking exogenous ketones. Do you see the difference? So you're not making ketogenesis. You are in ketosis because you are taking an outside source, and it's super easy to do. You just literally drink it, and you are into ketosis with under an hour. And that is fat burning energy. And that's why you have long-term energy. Okay, so that's exogenous. We call it pure therapeutic ketones versus endogenous, and it's the exact same ketone. It's beta hydroxybutyrate. There's actually other ketones that your body makes, but that's the main one. And that is, right now, that is the ketone that you can exogenously take. And it's bound with a salt in order to deliver it. Oh, you got yours. What flavor do you have?
I've got mine right here. I've got the Maui Punch.
Oh, fruit punch. It's Maui Punch. It tastes just like fruit punch.
I don't want it to end, so I'm like, oh, I just got to
keep adding
more water.
Oh my God, I do that too. Okay, so does that kind of make sense what keto is?
Yes, absolutely. I get it now. It's so clear. I just needed that explanation. And I know that a lot of my friends have, followed me for many, many years. And we've all known to eat every 2 to 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
And so,
right.
Yeah. So now I'm changing the way in here,
right,
the way I'm thinking and the knowledge, and I'm with it. I get it. I'm doing it now. And boy, Dr. Kayla, can I tell you that my clarity and my focus and my stress levels, everything is just on point now. I'm not yelling and screaming at my kids because it's even my son's like, why are you smiling so much? Did you get a boyfriend? I'm like, no. Did you get a boyfriend? I'm just like, I don't know. I think everything's just starting to roll in the right direction because I'm helping myself. I'm loving what I'm feeling. And I think this is exactly what my body and my mind needed for sure.
Cool.
So,
cool.
Yeah. So when I have another question. So,
okay.
So we can eat to get in ketosis, right? But it takes us like 6 or 7, it takes like a week to get there.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Well, it depends on if your body is adapted to ketosis, right? So if somebody has been doing the keto diet for a long time, meaning just strictly by doing the diet, they can get into ketosis a lot faster than somebody who has a whole bunch of glucose, glycogen stores in their body isn't up for that.
Got it. Okay.
So the macros for that, macros are fats, proteins, carbs. So if you're wanting to do the ketogenic diet, and again, to get into ketosis, you don't have to. You can drink something exogenously, but if you're like, okay, I want to try this through my food, it's about 75 to 80% fats every day. And I didn't say fat food. I didn't say McDonald's, actual fats, okay? 15 to 20% protein, and then less than 5% carbs. And you got to remember your fruits and vegetables are carbs. So that is already, that limits you. You can't do the breads and pastas. Now, there are alternatives to breads and pastas like almond flour and stuff like that, but we can talk about that.
Yeah, another time. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so I prefer to drink exogenous ketones because it's
easier.
So much easier. I don't. Yeah. I'm not a counter macros, and doing all that is very confusing to me. I know what I like to eat. I know I eat on the healthier side. And love my healthy fats like avocado and my nuts and things like that. So, so with that, you're really, really getting my mind going into like, I haven't been a big fan of fasting or cleansing, and that's because I think it's starting to make sense to me. You just explained that my glycogen levels are like out of control, and that's why I feel like I'm not going to make it. Like I'm literally gonna die, and everyone else will too. Yeah.
When you do a cleanse, is that what you're saying? Yeah. Like when you do a cleanse,
it's tough.
So tell me about what cleanses have you done in the past, out of curiosity.
Right. So I have done the 21-day ultimate reset, which was a big popular one. And I actually enjoyed it. You know, I liked going vegan once a year. It was okay, but I can't work out and I teach classes. You know, I used to teach 12 classes a week. I don't anymore. I just teach a few and I sub whenever I want, you know, and I like that. But I still work out every day because that's what I do and I love it. And, but then I also did the 3-day refresh. And oh gosh, no, I couldn't. I mean, if you were on my team and I was coaching you through it, I'm so transparent. I was bitching all day long.
Oh, I love it. Uh-oh.
Yeah. So can we talk about a little bit about this, like rebooting our system?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so first I want to share my experience with the 21-day reset. So these are all Beachbody products, right? And right before I just had finished medical school and I was going into residency and I had this like burning desire to go home and help my parents live a healthy life. And they're healthy people, but you know, they wanted to get a kickstart. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to come back. I'm going to cook for you and I'm not a cook. Like we're going to do this reset. And we did it for 21 days. I tried to teach classes during it. And I passed out a couple times. I'm not going to lie. And what happened was my parents and myself, we had excellent success, right? Excellent. And then eventually the weight came all right back.
Yeah.
Did you experience that too?
Yep.
Right? So you were exhausted during this 21-day reset. You had to like, oh my gosh, all I did was cook all day. Like I couldn't do anything else. Thank God I was done with medical school. I was going to residency. So I had that small vacation. I literally had to have a 21-day vacation in order to do it. And I was exhausted and I was crabby. I'm not going to lie. And yes, they lost the weight and then it crept back up.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And so what's so interesting is that is what I hear from so many patients who come to see me. That is stuff that I hear from my friends is like, oh, but this works. Like this diet works because look at how much weight I lost. And I used to fall for that too because it's like, yeah, the diet works because you lose all the weight. Okay. But then you can't maintain it. And, you know, let's think of Oprah, right? We see Oprah yo-yo diet all the time. You never see Oprah start, and nothing against Oprah, but she'll lose, then come back, lose, then come back. And so many of us are like that. Do you want to know the reason why?
Yes, please tell us.
All right. You ready for the juicy scoop on that? It's because you lose the weight right away because you turn around what you're eating, right? During these reset cleanses, whatever, I don't care what company you did it with, you make better food choices, you eat less calories, you just naturally eat less calories, you don't eat more calories, so your insulin level decreases, okay? So your insulin level, because those foods you're eating, you don't have as many spikes, okay? However, there's two components, okay? There's the insulin spikes and then there's insulin resistance. So if we only work on your type of food, you are missing half of the battle. And that's why your body has a set body weight that it will always come right back to because of insulin and other hormones, but mainly because of insulin. Okay? So yes, I'm not going to tell you those diets aren't successful. If you're getting married on Saturday, I can give you a diet that you will lose super fast. It's not going to maintain, but I can get you to lose super fast, okay? Because that insulin level goes down. Long-term weight loss, getting that set body. Have you ever noticed that your body likes this number and you don't like that number, but your body does? Yeah. So when you're done, and even when you're done with a diet, but you're still eating that diet and it goes up, have you noticed that? You're like, but I'm still on the diet. Why am I all of a sudden gaining? Because your body wants to be at homeostasis, okay? And the hormone insulin is a huge component in that. So basically your body has developed what's called insulin resistance, okay? So insulin is what lets glucose into the body so that you have energy, okay? So think of insulin as a key to a door, okay? If you are not insulin resistant, if you have good insulin sensitivity, you take your key, you put it in the door, you turn it, you open the door, and glucose comes in and you have energy, okay? Simple as that. If you have insulin resistance, which insulin resistance is huge cause of obesity. Like that, I mean, they're right there. That's the component people aren't worrying about is the insulin resistance side. You remember those janitor's keys with like 20 keys on a janitor's ring? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it takes, this is an analogy, it takes all 20 of those keys to open one door. Okay, you have to find the right key. So now you've flooded your body with way more insulin, okay? And then that glucose comes in, but you had to do way more insulin. Therefore, in order to open that door, you have to have more insulin in your body. When you have more insulin in your body, whoop, there goes your set body weight. Okay, so you diet, your insulin level goes down in response to that food, but then you didn't do anything about your insulin resistance because you're still eating. That insulin resistance isn't helped, so then whoop, your body goes back to your set rate. Okay?
Okay.
So the key to breaking that cycle is fasting. And fasting and doing a cleanse are not even close to the same thing. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
I
figured.
I
figured.
I'm afraid.
That's totally fine. So doing a fast is not going to be the same experience even a little bit as doing a cleanse.
Okay.
When you do a cleanse, you eat food. When you do a reset, you eat food. When you do the juice thing, whatever people do, you eat food. When you do the cabbage diet, you eat food.
Yeah.
Every time you eat food, guess what that causes? An insulin spike, no matter how healthy it is, okay? So that's why it works, but now we're working on the other half, okay? In order to reset that insulin resistance and get your body more sensitive to insulin, think of it this way. I don't know if you drink or not, but think of if you go a long time, you haven't had wine or a cocktail or whatever, and you go out with a friend and you're like, oh, wow, like that was really effective. And then maybe you're like me and you go on cruises a lot, and then all week long you're having your wine, your cocktails and everything, and having that cocktail, having that wine no longer has that effect immediately because your body becomes tolerant of alcohol. We all know that, right?
Right.
Same thing with insulin, okay? So the difference is when you do a fast, you do not eat anything at all. I didn't say you didn't drink, okay? We're not talking about alcohol. Let's go, let's clarify. Okay, so with a fast, you don't eat any food. With a cleanse, you are still eating food, so you're still having your insulin spikes.
Okay, I get it.
Do you see the difference?
Yes.
Cool, cool. All right, I'll let you ask questions. I answered that one like a long time. I'm sorry. I get bored.
So much information. I dig it. I love it. And I love like every note you're dropping. It's good.
Cool.
Okay,
cool.
Okay, so how do I want to try to fast because I know it's going to be like amazing for my body. I've been doing the ketones now for 16 days. Okay. I feel freaking amazing. Like everything in my brain is organized it's so weird because I've never been that way.
Awesome.
And I feel really good. My son is feeling good when he takes it. He's still like very off and on. His ADHD, but all of that is going good. We're doing good in this household. It's kind of awesome.
Awesome.
So let's see. Did we talk about breaking the insulin cycle? I think we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yep.
So let's talk about the reboot.
Yeah. You want to talk about the reboot? Okay. So everybody understands why you need to do a fast instead of a cleanse. I'm going to go over really quick how your body responds to a fast. Okay. So let's talk about the last time you eat. Okay. When you eat, you are any food. I don't care what it is. You're eating, you have an increase in insulin. Okay. We talked about that insulin key, however many keys it takes for your body to let glucose in. You put in that key, here comes the glucose. Okay, so now you have energy from glucose. So then all of that excess glucose is stored as glycogen. Okay, so now we're talking, you're not going to eat again. So that was your last meal. Okay, second, from about the 6 to 20 hour period, again, these aren't exact science, from 6 to 24-hour period, you begin to release those glycogen stores, okay? And when you do, your insulin level goes down because we're not feeding it, okay? This is different than somebody who eats every 2 to 3 hours because that's insulin, insulin, insulin. So in that time, you're not eating and your insulin level is dropping and your glycogen stores are releasing all the excess. And it takes about 24 hours to get rid of those glycogen stores. And then about 24 hours into it to 2 days, you have what's called gluconeogenesis. Again, genesis we talked about at the beginning. Neo is new. Glucose is make glucose. So that's the key thing, right? Is when your liver starts, breaking down and making glucose from your amino acids and glycerol. Okay, so what does that mean? We're going into ketosis. Okay, and this is like day 1 to about day 3, which is really awesome. So your stored fat, known as triglycerides. If you're a woman, you know exactly what I'm talking about, those triglycerides, because when you go to your doctor and we do a lipid panel, a lot of times women come back with high triglycerides. It's those fats. They break down when you're in ketosis, okay? So instead of building up while we're eating, even when we're eating small meals, we're still, building that up. Instead, during ketosis, meaning no eating whatsoever, your triglycerides are breaking down, aka you are losing the fat, girl. Like that's what you want, right?
Ooh, yes.
And so that's when you have your ketone bodies that are produced. Beta hydroxybutyrate, acetoacetone, there's others, but that's your main things. And what's interesting is studies have shown that your ketone bodies during a fast, so no food, I'm not talking cleanse, I'm talking no food, ketone bodies increase 7 times. That's why you have energy during a fast like none other.
Wow.
Because those ketone bodies are such high level, you are at fat burning energy instead of a cleanse where there are no ketone bodies released because you're still eating food, so you're still using glucose as your energy source instead of ketones. Does that make sense?
Oh my gosh, yes.
So I mean, this is really awesome. So it's the same concept as when we drink our exogenous pure therapeutic ketones, we get into ketosis, but here this is helping your body go longer period. 3 days, 60 hours, just under 3 days is what we do, but some people do longer, cool for you, but specifically I'm telling you the benefits that you get in that 60-hour period. So during that time you are on cloud 9 because 7 times the amount of ketones are being released. And then what's interesting is I have so many people who say, okay, Kayla, why the heck would I do a fast? Because I like my muscles. I like my bones. I don't want to break them down. I don't want to break down muscles or my bones. That is completely a false statement. Okay, that's not based in research. That's just based in people on Facebook trying to give their opinion that isn't true. So research shows you that during a fast, what happens is you have high levels of human growth hormone. And when you have high levels of human growth hormone, that is when you conserve your muscles and you conserve your bones. So it's actually amazing for your muscles and your bone health. It is the opposite of what all of your friends are telling you.
So I will lose my muscle.
You will not lose your muscle and you won't all of a sudden break a bone because you're doing a fast. The opposite is true. And the other thing is I have a lot of people tell me, and you kind of hinted at it, right? Because you said when you did the cleanse, you were so exhausted you couldn't get up off the couch, and you were mean, and you said bitchy, so I can say bitchy. That's always my rule. If somebody says it first, then I can say. So what happens during a fast is the opposite of what happens during a cleanse. During a fast, believe it or not, your adrenaline increases, norepinephrine. It's an increase in adrenaline. When think of any time that if you were running away from a bear, you have energy. You all of a sudden can run like none other, right? Yeah. That's your adrenaline. And you are going and you have so much energy. That's what happens during a fast, not a cleanse, a fast. Your adrenaline level is increased. And the other thing that happens is that a lot of people say, I don't want to ruin my metabolism by doing a fast. Right. And I look at them like, okay, well, that's interesting because your metabolism increases by doing a fast. Science has proven that. Your metabolism increases because that adrenaline goes up. Okay? So there is not a decrease in your metabolism. You aren't breaking that down. Okay, so do you understand now that I've explained what actually happens in a 60-hour fast?
I love
why you're not going to be passed out on the ground, and why you're doing it. You are doing it for several reasons. Number one, to break the obesity factor. That set rate here, instead of having homeostasis here for your body, you're dropping it down. You're doing it for mental clarity, and honestly, that's why I do it. I have a pretty low set body rate, so I'm pretty happy about that. That's not my struggle. My struggle, it used to be, but my struggle now is mental clarity, and I just love the thoughts that come through my mind and all the, it's mind-blowing on a 60-hour fast how your body doesn't actually shut down, your brain turns on.
Oh,
does that make sense?
I look forward to doing this reboot with you. This will be your third round?
This will be my third round. Are you going to do it?
I think, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Ah! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Can I tell you?
Will do it with me because the ones that have done cleanses with me before know, again, I bitch the whole time. So I'm going to do it fast. And we'll
and all of your friends will be with all of my friends in a big group. We're all in a big group together. We're going to have a 60-hour party, and all the people around us are going to hate us because of how much energy we have. Literally, I had people at the hospital being like, what are you on, girl? And I'm like, I'm on ketones. I'm in ketosis. So this is, right? I mean, I walk around skipping. I really do.
I was on a high because I was so in love, killer, excited. I mean, all this stuff, and suddenly it just crashed, right? We broke up, and I was so sad, crying every 2 minutes. Literally, as I'm teaching class, someone asks me, how is so-and-so? And I'm like, and I'm not a crier. Okay, so I went from here to here, like that, and could not dig myself out. As soon as I started drinking my ketones, holy crap, let me tell you, everyone's like, oh my gosh, what happened? You're so happy.
Yeah.
Are you what? And I'm like, oh no, I'm on ketones.
You're like, ketones.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are probably wondering, okay, how am I going to get through 60 hours of not eating, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I told you, you're not going, are you? You're not going to eat a single thing. I have to tell you, I call it an unsupported fast, meaning my very first time I fasted was in December, and I did it completely unsupported. I only had my water, my lemon ginger water, and this gross bone broth. Oh my gosh, I'll never buy that brand again. And I woke up 36 hours into it in the keto flu and thought I was dying. Thought I was dying, and I was like, I'm bound and determined to do this. So I continued on, and I made it through that fast. But when I finally got into ketosis is what I'm trying to tell you, is once I got into ketosis, I was awesome. But that transition, because it was right after that 24-hour period I told you about, and that next 12 hours when I woke up the next morning, I was like, holy cow, my body didn't know what to do. So then I was like, oh, I want to fast, but I can't do this. So eventually I met Molly Richards, who's like freaking awesome. And she told me about exogenous pure therapeutic ketones. And I looked at her and I said, you're telling me I can fast and not die? I did. I was like, holy cow, like this is awesome. And so during the fast that is supported, you can drink, number one, you can drink all the water you want. You can drink all the lemon ginger water you want. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I teach people how to make lemon ginger water all the time. It's super healthy and healthy for you. But you get exogenous pure therapeutic ketones so that you don't have to ride the struggle bus in feeling your body transition from glucose energy source to the ketone source. Instead, it's a smooth transition that you don't even feel. Okay. Awesome. So that's why your energy is on cloud nine. This is what I will tell you, you will feel during the reboot when it comes to not eating. You will feel the urge to eat because of habits, not because you're starving.
Okay.
So during the reboot, I want you to literally write down everything that you're going through and notice the times, like when you're making food for your son, that you go to like grab like that extra bite of something, right? Write that down, because you'll realize you're like, oh, I'm not actually hungry. I'm fine. I just have an appetite.
Right.
And appetite is different than hunger. So, you know, you're gonna just be on cloud nine, and all of your friends that are listening to this are gonna sign up with you and be in the group with me and all my friends and Molly and all her friends, and we are just gonna rock this reboot out together. It starts Sunday night. Okay, so for this month, we do this once a month. And by the way, did you see that they extended the availability of the reboot until tomorrow night? So all of you that are getting paid tomorrow that thought you couldn't get into this month's reboot, the reboot was extended till tomorrow so you can get into the reboot, okay? And it's not us preventing you from doing it. Literally, the company can only produce so much because there's such high demand. And so they said, okay, we now have produced enough that we will, we'll do it through tomorrow night to get the kit. So you get the kit, and on May 13th, which is Mother's Day, you eat whatever you want all day. Now, if you want to like lead yourself up to it, Sally and I can hook you up with some exogenous ketones to get you to that point. You don't have to though. You can start, cold turkey on Sunday night. So it starts at 8 p.m. Sunday night. You drink tea, and you basically, my advice to you is just get extra sleep, because your body's going to be doing a lot of processing, so you need extra sleep. If you don't have extra sleep, which that's happened to me because I'm an OB, you still can do it. So don't let that be a barrier. You wake up the next morning, you drink your ketones, you're into ketosis. And then throughout the day, it's super easy. There's bone broth that you drink, and then more ketones, more bone broth, and then tea. So you're constantly drinking something all day long. So that habit of having something in your hand and drinking, that's still there. It can, and you can please supplement with lots and lots of water, that type of thing. So that happens all day Monday. So again, most of this reboot fasting, you are sleeping. So then you sleep, Monday night into Tuesday, same thing Tuesday. Ketones, broth, tea. Then you wake up Wednesday morning, have your ketones, and you eat your breakfast.
Oh my God.
It's like that.
I can do this. And I'm so excited. Okay, so we only have today and tomorrow to order our kit. Then it comes in time to start it at 8 o'clock Sunday night, Mother's Day night.
Yes.
Okay, and we can eat all day long.
Yeah, do what you want. Now, so I could advise you on, oh wait, when's your birthday?
It's my birthday on Wednesday. Usually, like I get one of those like Mother's Day birthdays, So this year it's on a Wednesday, middle of the week. But
okay.
Yeah, so then I have that, and then of course it's given me like a couple of days of celebrations, right? And then Mother's Day too, So I know that all next week is just going to be so crazy for me, but at the same time, I also know that I have the ketones in my back pocket. Like my tool belt is ready,
Yeah.
Awesome.
So the first keto reboot I prepared the week before, in the sense that I was intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
And I was doing all that.
That's probably the best way to do it, because
Right.
if you're having all this sugar the whole week before, like I know that for me, I'll probably on Wednesday have some champagne and also on Sunday, but I'm not going to overdo it because I work hard for where I'm at right now today, so that I don't want to totally mess it up and feel so shitty the next, week, or really have a hard time trying to get back to where I want to be. So.
And did you notice that when you drink the ketones, that helps your control? Because it does for me.
Oh, yeah,
like, I'm going to tell you a little funny story. My my last reboot in April literally started the night I got back from a 13-day cruise in the Mediterranean and full 16-day vacation. Okay. And I get over on my vacation and over to Europe, and I couldn't bring all of my ketones because my ketones were lost in the mail for like a day. They weren't lost, but like all of a sudden, instead of coming before we left, they came on Friday. So, and my boyfriend drinks ketones too. So literally we ran out of ketones towards the end of the trip, and there was no way to get them. Like, we're over in Europe, like you can't. And I'm like jonesing for ketones. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to make good decisions. And I didn't. I was eating pasta. I was eating, and I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea how much the ketones help with my appetite suppression. How much the ketones help me not drink as much when I'm, at, like you said, like at brunch and stuff like that, because your body's like, okay, I'm good. And, you know what I'm saying? So I've done both. The first reboot that I did, I fully prepared for it. And it was like, totally keto diet ahead of time and intermittent fast. And I had great results. And then the second reboot I did, I came off of that cruise, and I definitely had gained 10 pounds of like bloat by the end because of not having ketones. And like, it was gone immediately, after the reboot, and I was myself again. And so you couldn't do it either way, is what I'm saying. And I did not suffer when I came back. I actually was like, yes, I'm on the reboot. And even though I literally had this like huge meal on Saturday, last day of the cruise, and all this stuff, I didn't rebound. So you can do it both ways.
So cool. I can't wait. I'm super excited. So let's wrap this up because it's almost 12:20. Awesome.
Perfect.
So next week, can I invite you back on? Because I have my son with ADHD, and I need to tell you about what's been going on with him and his brain and like all of that stuff. So I would love to have you back if you would love to
let's do it. Let's do it. We'll get it on the calendar. Can I borrow you for like 10 minutes to go live on my page? Because I think my peeps over on my awesome page would love to hear your transformation story.
Yes.
Okay, should we do that?
Honored.
All right, so before we close up here and jump over on my page real quick, and it'll be less than 10 minutes, girl, I promise. Less than 10 minutes. Let your peeps know here what they need to do to sign up in order to do, like, what do they need to do in order to sign up for this 60-hour supported fast? Because they're ready to do it now. I know they are.
I know, like they're ready to go. So down in the comments, I'm going to put the link to where you can get your kit for the reboot.
Okay.
Right? And
perfect.
As soon as you do that, we're going to put you into the group with Dr. Kayla and Molly and myself and all of our friends. It's going to be so cool and so fun. I am so excited.
Really awesome.
So,
and for my friends, for my friends that I've seen a lot of my friends pop on, which is awesome. It's crazy how Facebook works. I don't know how that happens, but I think because I was good at share. I don't know, whatever. Who cares? All of my friends who are on, and you've been talking with me about this reboot, and I told you it was done today. They just extended it to tomorrow night. So all you have to do is message me. I'm Dr. Kayla Nebelsick. I'm the only Dr. Kayla Nebelsick literally in existence. That's how rare my last name is. So message me and be like, hey, Dr. Kayla, I've been watching you, and I'm ready to join in on this reboot, and I will send you the information. Or if you're just curious if it'll work for you, I'm doing 15-minute. I'm keeping it to 15-minute consultations with anyone who wants to figure out because I'm going to ask you what your goals are, because maybe this isn't for you. So I'm going to spend 15 minutes with you and just see if the reboot is right for your life, because I don't want you to do it if it's not going to be successful. So if you're my friend, do that. If you are, you know, a friend of another person who is in on the reboot, like, we're all about sharing as a community here. We just want people to do the reboot. So either contact me, contact Sally, however it is you found this video, contact that person and let them know, okay, I'm in. What do I do before the deadline is over?
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Kayla, and I'll see you over on your page.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys. Please make sure to follow the link in the comments and contact me directly or Dr. Kayla, and we will chat. All right. See ya.
Perfect.